It's September 22nd, 2011. Mike Rupert back with an emergency action alert. This, I'm afraid, is the most serious we have issued to date and the most urgent. So I want you all to pay attention very, very carefully right now. Of course, we titled this, "It's Time to Hunker Down and Get Small." The big body blows, which I was seeing and forecasting that were coming the end of the month, have begun. They began with today's stock market crash of what was at one point over 520 points. Now it was just around 400 points today, but that's going to get worse tomorrow. But that is only a small part, not a small part, it's a major part of a much larger series of issues and crises which are all converging at once. I mean right now. Just sticking with the markets for a second, the fall today was perfectly instigated by Ben Bernanke with his tepid Operation Twist program and his very damaging statements about extreme concern about downward pressure on the economy for the next 2 years. But that's in concert, and that's one thing I want to emphasize that here. Throughout all the things we're going to discuss today is that what's happening now is happening in concert, whether it's economic, financial, political, military, or diplomatic. It's all in concert now. Now, what's coming back tomorrow? This massacre that happened today was just a beginning. Tomorrow might even be a stronger down push, because, as I said in my Portland speech recently, and as I've been writing, that when the markets finally understood that the EU was toast, we would see a 500 to 900 point drop in one day. This just started today. It's going to get worse tomorrow because the European situation is not resolved. It's still worsening, and their clock is running out. And you'll see on the World News Desk all the stories we're putting up about how bad the European crisis is. But the timing of all that is extremely suspect. September 30th, the end of this month, is the end of the U.S. fiscal year, and there is no budget for the fiscal year, which begins October 1st. On top of that, we have reached the debt ceiling limit that was set, and funds for rebuilding, quote unquote, after Hurricane Irene and Tropical Storm Lee are not there, and they're going to have to come out of programs. But on top of this, United States Congress is going on a week's vacation starting Friday. And they have literally just until tomorrow, Friday, September 23rd, to pass some resolutions to keep the government running after they come back. That may or may not happen, but I can guarantee that if there are no resolutions passed on Friday, then after Congress comes back the end of the month, we will be in a state of national emergency. That's a given. But also around the world now, we see increasingly aggressive military and political moves, especially in Pakistan and Afghanistan, as the Middle East continues to stay raw and inflamed. Mahmoud Ahmadinejad today in the United Nations took some very broad, aggressive salvos diplomatically against the United States. All of this is being timed to happen at the same time. I wonder why the European Parliament is going on vacation for a week. I wonder why many government functions are being shut down and people are traveling. I don't know what the explanation for that is, and I haven't seen any credible theories explaining why, except for the fact that something very, very large is coming down, and it's coming down globally, not just in the United States. I've been emphasizing for a week or so, or more, 2 weeks. I did in my Portland speech, and thank you all very much for the feedback on the Portland speech. It is going viral. It's been viewed more than 5,000 times now, and I'm very grateful for that. But as I said in the Portland speech, we're seeing now that the financial powers that be acting in concert. This is a whole new step out for what some people would call the New World Order. I repeat, it's only transitory, but it's going to be very brutal and very tough. We will see that there are no national governments, and on a global scale we will see financial manipulations that have little or nothing to do with national boundaries. Now, at the bottom of this tape, it's been here since the beginning, is a link to a video I want you all to see now. And the reason why I bring this video up, the Money Masters Now, it's about 3.5 hours, but it's the best research documented produced video on money that I have ever seen. It's more than 10 years old. It was made in the mid-90s. But it nails it to a head. But now in these present circumstances, with the events happening all around us, maybe those of you who might not have heard what we've been saying for so long about the way money works will finally get it. But once you have watched that movie and placed that movie in context with the events we are seeing now, you cannot help but be concerned. In addition to everything else that's going on, we had the murder of an innocent man in Georgia, Troy Davis, and we have two police officers in Anaheim, California, indicted for murder in the beating death of Kelly Thomas, a homeless, mentally disabled man who was the son of a cop. All of the buttons are being pushed again now for civil unrest. And I'm making this tape now with saying to you very clearly, I do not know what tomorrow will bring. I do not know what Saturday, Sunday, or Monday will bring. I just know that this time was coming. And we will see a rapid succession of events. So this is not a time to travel anywhere. You stay close to home, you hunker down, you recheck all of your emergency supplies, especially food and water, things you might need to survive for a week, 2, 3 weeks. Without being able to get to a store, or as a result of experiencing supply shortages. Anything can happen right now. But I have never in my long career been as totally cognizant and seeing the unseen hand of the financial powers that be at work. The one big flaw in the movie, The Money Masters, was that it didn't address resources. It, like everything else, assumed a world of infinite resources and never asked the question, well, what would be the logical end of this criminal enterprise, which is the way money works globally and the way it has worked for a long time, if things ran out. And here's what I want to suggest to you, because I know, because of the work that I have done over the course of my career, from the Wilderness Crossing to Rubicon, all the books, all the writing, is that the powers that be have known about peak oil for a long time. The powers that be have known about resource depletion and limitation for a long time, and environmental degradation. That being said, it is foolish to believe that they have not prepared and devised a plan, quote unquote, for how to deal with it. And what we are seeing now is an implementation of that plan. This is not some series of events that are just happening seemingly coincidentally. This is globally orchestrated, and it's going to be globally executed. And I don't know what kind of world we're going to be looking at by the end of next week. We're all going to be paying attention. We will continue to bring you the best news available anywhere in the world, and the best analysis of what's going on from good sources that you can trust here on CollapseNet, with our analysis that has proved right on the money, and we all know that now. I want to thank everybody who's added new support, all of our new members. We've really been making some points lately, and we're still looking for that 100th monkey, but we better find that sumbitch fast. We will keep you posted here on CollapseNet as closely as we can, as soon as I can get a handle on what I see unfolding. I want you all to go watch The Money Masters. As distasteful as it might be to see what you see in that 3.5-hour movie, when you're done with it, you will understand what's being done around you now, and it will not look as chaotic as it appears. But you will be certainly more concerned about what's coming next, because you must understand the ruthlessness of the old paradigm. Again, we are at the end of resources, so there is nothing they can restore. What we are witnessing now is the powers that be executing their plan to shut down human and industrial civilization and reduce population. This is it. I'll be back as soon as I have something important to tell you, but you'll probably get faster updates by staying close to the World News Desk and the homepage. See you soon.